I remember Grandpa sitting on the porch with a coffee cup, talking about the Reds and how they'd never give it up. He said, son, they won't come with tanks or flying flags so bold. They'll sneak in through the colleges and turn the young hearts cold. I laughed and called him crazy, said those days were done. But Grandpa looked me dead in the eye and said, boy, it's just begun. It ain't just talk no more, it's happening right now. The slow takeover is walking through the town. They smile and call it justice, they march and call it peace. But Grandpa warned us, Lord, and the warning never ceased. I remember Grandpa sitting on the porch with a coffee cup, talking about the Reds and how they'd never give it up. He said, son, they won't come with tanks or flying flags so bold. They'll sneak in through the colleges and turn the young hearts cold. I laughed and called him crazy, said those days were done. But Grandpa looked me dead in the eye and said, boy, it's just begun. It ain't just talk no more, it's happening right now. The slow takeover is walking through the town. They smile and call it justice, they march and call it peace. But Grandpa warned us, Lord, and the warning never ceased. How the Communist Party USA's out passing out their signs. Party for socialism and liberation's right there in the line. Freedom Road socialist organizations funding every bus. Revolutionary Communist Party stirring up the fuss. Revolutionary Communists of America running with the crowd. All coordinated, organized, and screaming extra loud. They're behind these No Kings rallies from coast to shining coast, paying for the buses, printing signs and posting every post, while the blue-haired kids are yelling and the beta boys applaud. The real bosses in the back are laughing hard. They hate this country's freedom, they hate the stars and stripes, but they love the megaphone and all the camera lights. They'll call you every name if you dare to push back. Say you're a fascist for flying the American flag. They cheer for Maduro, they cheer for the mullahs too. Love every tyrant as long as he hates me and you. While red states keep on working and paying all the bills, blue states keep on spending and wonder why they're ill. It ain't just talk no more, it's happening right now. The slow takeover is walking through the town. They cheer for Maduro, they cheer for the mullahs too. They love every tyrant as long as he hates me and you. While red states keep on working and paying all the bills, blue states keep on spending and wonder why they're ill. It ain't just talk no more, it's happening right now. The slow takeover is walking through this town. They smile and call it justice. They march and call it peace. But Grandpa warned us, Lord, and I pray to God we don't fall asleep. Yeah, Grandpa warned us. Lord, I hope we finally hear him now.
I think it's working. Here we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth. You're probably wondering why I sound like an old man. I hate those whippersnappers when they come in my neighborhood. It pisses me off. And I say to them, get off my damn lawn, you damn whippersnapper, slap ass full of piss and vinegar. Yeah, I know, I sound like that because I have a tooth that the nerve has just gone nuts on for like 4 days. And I was kind of coming off some other stuff anyway, and all the painkillers and everything keeps me sick. So I'm on the mend today. I feel much better. It still looks like I got in a fight. I'm willing to sign an affidavit that I did not get in a fight, but you should have seen the other guy. No, I'm just kidding. I really didn't get in a fight. They go, oh, look at him. He got his ass beat. Oh, my God, what happened? Running his mouth out there about Trump or something, probably. Yeah. That shows boys you've been whacking in my van. Yeah, that's them. Yeah, I feel better tonight. I'm still not completely recovered. It's still not completely gone down. It's not infected. It's just been a lot of pain for 5 days. Normally the nerve dies in 2 or 3 days. This one's kind of treating me poorly here, but it doesn't hurt anymore that much, and I'm taking minimal painkillers now compared to what I was taking yesterday. I literally went to bed last night in so much pain I couldn't stand myself, and without drinking Mountain Dew, because I can't drink Mountain Dew when my tooth's messed up. So I've got the headaches going on. The headaches that are caused by caffeine deprivation, which, as you know, caffeine is a necessity in life, and it's one of those things that your body has to have or you'll die, or at least that's the way I think it is. And so 3 or 4 days without any really measurable caffeine, I was getting migraine headaches on top of the toothache. I was able to wake up this morning and drink a bunch of Mountain Dew and flush my body with wonderful caffeine. Oh my God, how do people live without caffeine? I swear, I was just falling asleep everywhere. I was at work on Friday, and I'm sitting there in the chair, and I'm literally dozing off because I hadn't had caffeine in a day or so, and it was already starting to hit me. Yes, if I had some amoxicillin, I would probably go ahead and take it at this point, because I'm not 100% sure that there's not something infected here, although I don't think it is. It's just a hot nerve. Yeah. Sometimes teeth have more than one nerve, too, and yeah, it's a hot tooth. It's bad. But I don't want them to pull out another one of my teeth. You know what I mean? So I'm living with it right now. But I don't have the money for a dentist anyway, and nor do I have the courage for a dentist. Those bastards all up in my mouth, I can't handle it. Call me a puss. I crawled in burning buildings for a living. I ran towards the gunfire. I run away from dentists. Not much on doctors either. Not much on a profession where they say they're helping you, but everything they do hurts. Think about that. Okay, so I do have some breaking news tonight, and it's really, really good news. It's really good news. This is a breaking news alert. That's correct. A breaking news alert here on StarShip Adventures. The Encherito is back at Taco Bell. Why do these bastards keep doing this to me? I don't know. This is my favorite food in the entire world right here. If you said, look, you're going to be on an island with Tom Hanks and a volleyball, okay? You get one kind of food for the rest of your life. It's freaking Encheritos, dude. It's Encheritos all day long. They're the best thing ever. In this Encherito, now, it comes with onions, but I don't eat the onions. I have them leave the onions out, and then I have to check it before I leave to make sure they didn't screw up. Yeah, Victor, I take 4 of the 200s, which equals 800, which is what the doctor would give me anyway, which is an 800 milligram. I'll admit, I think the 800 prescriptions work better than taking 4 of the 200 over the counters, but we'll save that for a pharmaceutical show. Anyway, Encheritos are back, man. Go eat them. I'm telling you, go buy as many of them as you can. So hopefully those assholes will keep it. Look, I love Taco Bell. It's my favorite restaurant. I think I was Mexican in my last life. I don't speak a lick of Spanish, except I know all the names of all the food. I love the Tex-Mex, you know, the spice. I just love it. And so when I heard this was back, I drove up there yesterday, and even with a hot tooth, I ate 2 of these sumbitches, and I almost drove back up there and got 2 more of them today, and I will be eating them for lunch tomorrow. So there you go. The Encheritos have returned to Taco Bell. Why do they do this? If you're wondering what's in it, it's 50% beef and 50% bean, which I like. I like the combination of fillers in there. With a flour tortilla, and then it has the red sauce on top, and then the cheese on top of that, and then they put it in the steamer for 20 seconds to melt all the cheese on top. That's the best thing they sell right there. But they took it away years ago. It used to come with 3 little black olives on top. Do you guys remember it? I mean, am I like totally out of it or what? Prescription ibuprofen hits different. It does. It's better. It's quicker. And it still doesn't tend to mess me up or anything. So I think they put so much coating on these over-the-counter ones. I think they just put so much coating on them that they have a much slower effect. Yeah, all right, Maggie. Listen, if it doesn't, if it gets any more swelled or any worse than this, then yes, I'm going to have to go get some antibiotics. Yeah, let's see here. All right, so anyway, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. It's breaking news that the Encherito returns to Taco Bell. Buy some today. Buy a lot of them. Hopefully they'll keep it. I know that's stupid, but I do it. If I want something, I buy a bunch of them, and it lets them know that people are buying it. Nothing sends a message louder than your wallet. Remember that. All right. Well, the tooth has almost quit hurting today. That's why I said the tooth is almost quit hurting today. The mouth is still very sore, but the tooth has quit hurting. So I think the nerve died today sometime, and I'm just dealing with a very sore, swollen face. We'll see. If this gets bigger tomorrow, I will get into an urgent care and get something. I can't believe I got to go pay some asshole a bunch of money so that I can go pay some other asshole a bunch of money so I can get some pills so I don't die. I hate our system, but whatever. It could be worse. I could be dealing with the government, right? Uh, is it, you think, Heath, do you think it's a Mandela effect? I mentioned to the 3 or 4 ladies that I'm friends with, well, 3 ladies and a guy. I'm friends with my Taco Bell people. You can kind of imagine. Yeah. My camera may go out. If it does, I'll put something else in that hole. The battery's dead on this phone. I don't know what's wrong with the charger. I've got it plugged into my really good charger right now, and it looks like it's keeping up, but it may try to go to sleep on me. I don't know. It's in power save mode. But when it goes to sleep, the camera goes out. Anyway. Yeah, but you go into an Aspen Dental, they want to pull all my teeth out, and they want me to get an upper plate and all this, and I'm like, I can't psychologically do that right now. I'm not going to get into it with you guys, but I have a real phobia, okay? I haven't had a dentist in my mouth since I was 16. I normally, like the last 2 times, I've only twice in my life needed dental antibiotics, and both times I went to a general practitioner, and he ended up giving it to me. Remember Bell Burgers? No, I don't. I have, while I've been watching a little more TV because I'm trying to keep my mind occupied. And, hey, Mama, one of the things that I've been watching the last couple of days, I've been enamored with old restaurants. And I watched one today, was all the old sit-downs, Bennigan's and Lum's. God, I used to love Lum's when I was a kid. They had the best wings. And then I watched another one earlier on franchises that aren't doing so well. And Hooters came up. There's a bunch of them. Boston Market. The restaurant market, the restaurant industry, guys, it's changing. It's changing. It's just too much money. Five Guys. Here's a prime example of Five Guys pizza or Five Guys burgers, okay? It's a good burger. I'm not much on the home cut fries, but they're okay. I'll eat them. They're good in ketchup. I prefer frozen fries like at McDonald's. I don't know why, because I'm just corporate like that. But Five Guys, they have a really great burger. And that was their thing. Look, this is our great burger. They're failing right now. They're getting ready to reorganize. They're shutting down. They had like 1,200 of these Five Guys. Now they're shutting them down. What changed? I'll tell you what changed. After COVID, their prices changed. And I'm not saying it's their fault directly. I mean, you've got to, when it comes to business, you have to make ends meet. You have to, or you have to quit. It's not like the government where ends can never meet and it's perfectly fine. But in the private sector, ends have to meet or you go out of business and you end up owing people a lot of money and it gets really nasty. So it's one of those things, but I just remember all these restaurants going out of business now, not doing well. Denny's went out all around here. I used to love Denny's. There's still one somewhere, I think, down on Daniels or something. I know they're not gone completely. Long John Silver's gone. Captain D's has closed down about half their locations in Florida. I love Captain D's. So there's a lot of these companies, they didn't roll with the changes. But the sit-downs, I think the problem, Mama, I think the problem with the sit-downs is people can't spend that kind of money anymore. Chili's is in the same boat as Five Guys. Their food's gotten so damn expensive, nobody can eat the shit. I mean, it's bad. It really is bad. The food's great. The quality hasn't come down that much, but the price is astronomical. Five Guys, you get a loaded burger with a medium fry and a medium drink, $24.95 with tax included. $24.95. I can go get most things off the Perkins menu in a sit down with the tip for 25 bucks. I mean, my sandwich in Perkins is 15, my drink is 5. Perkins rapes you for the drink. And then my part of the tip is 4 bucks. I could probably get out of Perkins cheaper than Five Guys. And I consider Perkins fairly expensive. It's great food, though. I love Perkins. So, basically, these younger folks, as the older folks die off, older folks, for some reason, they'll go into a place and they'll drop $60 or $70 for a man and his wife to eat dinner. To them, that's not unusual. That's not unheard of. My generation, a lot of people in my generation, like me, I will not go drop money in a sit down. Now, when I'm taking mom out, that's the exception. But other than that, I don't go to sit downs ever. I'm a fast foodie all the way to the end. And so that's kind of just the way that goes. So basically, I just wanted to bring this up. McDonald's also, they're going to do this too. They're bringing back something from decades old for the 250th anniversary of America. They're bringing back. They're bringing up this 35-foot fried apple display that they're going to put up on Route 66 in Joliet, Illinois. You know, Joliet, that's where Jake and Elwood were in prison. Anyway, so they're bringing back a dessert that nostalgic customers have been asking to see for decades. The fast food chain McDonald's announced that its fried apple pie will return to participating restaurants nationwide on June 23rd for a limited time as part of the celebrations surrounding America's 250th birthday. The dessert features apple filling made with American-grown apples wrapped inside fried, flaky crust. I thought they all had these all along. The pie first appeared in McDonald's menu in 1968 after Tennessee franchise owner Linton Cochran developed the recipe. It remained a staple for decades before most U.S. restaurants switched to a baked version of the 1990. Oh, that's right. These used to go right in the grease. That's why they were so good. Anything cooked in grease is good and bad. But that's why these were so good, because they literally cooked them with the fries. They put them right in the grease, right next to the chicken nuggets and the fries. I might try one of these. So there you go. It generated excitement online, I guess. Okay, there you go. So yeah, that's McDonald's doing their thing there. They're trying to come out with something too. Hey, whatever. You know, America's 250 years old. The Encherito's back. It's, you know, Star Trek 60 years. I mean, things are good. All right, so let's take a quick look at the man. Oh man, let's take a look at the weather. Okay, the weather is beckoning here, so let's go take a look. You should have sued him like that woman that burned her cooter with coffee, and sued the shit out of him. She got enough money to buy a whole new cooter. Anyway, let's see here. Now let me flip this so you guys can see what's going on. All right, so here's what we got going on. Here's our outlook for today. Oh, shit. They just added an orange piece here. This was not here. That's a 3 out of 5, that orange area. Most of the activity is way over here on this side right now. All right, so we are in northern Kentucky, Jasper. Is it Jasper, Kentucky? Is that where we're at? No, actually, that's in Indiana. In Louisville, Kentucky. It's going to come close to you or further north than you. These little triangles, those are tornadoes that have been reported, sightings. We do have our one storm chaser out here, Brandon Kopek. He is up top in the center already, so I don't need to bring him up on this system here. I'm going to be looking for other storm chasers that I don't have. I don't have Matthew Jones, but he's not broadcasting video. I don't have Tyler Woodall, but he's not broadcasting. So if they start broadcasting, I'll put them up. Freddie McKinney. Oh, he's up. Oh, look at that beautiful sunset Freddie's getting right now.
We're about to go live. At least get it ready. I'm gonna go.
Adam Lucio.
You just want me to make it public?
Don't make it public. But is it?
All right, so we've got. Look at that! What a great shot with the windmills and the, or as I call them, bird killers. I wish they could kill mosquitoes like as effective as these windmills are killing birds. Matt, I don't know. I'm bummed right now because I kind of want this to go. I want this thing to be resolved. Damn this thing. I want this thing to be resolved with Iran. It really needs to be resolved, okay? We cannot go into this midterm cycle right now with gas prices at $4 a gallon or whatever. I know they're down to $3.50 or something now, but we cannot go like this, okay? It cannot happen. We're going to end up losing the House. If we lose the House and the Senate, they're going to perp walk him right out of the White House. I'm telling you guys. All right? They've already promised they're going to do it. I don't think you guys get it. It's going to happen. We've all got to vote, and we got to get these war-ended gas prices down. This shit's important. Windmills, they're pretty foolish. They're kind of cool when you see them all during the day, and they're all out there doing their thing. They're kind of cool to look at. But yeah, they're not breaking even on them. Between the maintenance and the cost of tearing them down and getting rid of them after 15 years. They're only good for 15 years because of the tweaking and torquing, and so, but the cost to get rid of them is not worth it. It's by the time you get rid of the windmill but before you even start putting the next one up, by the time you get rid of the first one in 15 years, it didn't break even. It won't even break even. So it's kind of a sad state. All right, let me turn that input way down for that. I'm sorry about that. I just realized how loud that was again. All yes, Heath, I lowered them. I actually put it on a separate slider so I could keep it lower, and then I put it on a slider that was cranked way up, and I didn't notice it. So yeah, it's taken care of now. You'll hear it just barely in the background. That's all it needs. And the Storm Chasers audio, if I turn that up, we'll have to bring it up a little bit. But all right, so let's see what we got here. We've got an observed tornado here. This one is observed. Let's get into our radar. There it is right there. It's kind of messy because I think we're a little far. No, we're really not that far from the radar site. Let me see what this one looks like. That's better. Look at that. There's your couplet. So yeah, this is a tornado here. This is an observed tornado. Unfortunately, we don't have any storm chasers or cameras out in front of that one. We got another one here. You can see the couplet here near Brownstown, moving east-northeast. Another one here. There's a couplet there. Guys, they weren't forecasting this to be a big tornado night, okay? And this alert's been going off crazy for about 3 hours now. There's another one right there. New Liberty. This is going to come really close. Bunker Hill. Bertle. Wow. Guys, there's a lot of tornadoes out here. All right, we're going to need a new radar site to go this far over. Oh, we're sitting right on top of one. There's your couplet. Even that close to the radar site. That thing just went by the radar site. You know, these radars are way up on towers, so every now and then it gets one. Oh, wow, okay. Uh, I haven't ate dinner, and I may get in the car after the show and run up to Taco Bell and get me 2 Encheritos. I'm just letting you know. That's probably going to happen. They're open till 2 in the morning. I could get 2 now and get 2 more at 2 in the morning if I really wanted to. But probably just the 2 will be enough. Okay, so anyway, let's see what we got going on here. Oh, man, we've got a lot of tornadic activity here. This is Brandon Kopeck. He is up in the middle center. And he is right on this one here, and you can see it looks a bit classic there. Let me see if I can get. Is there any closer radar? Man, these radars. As many people live in this area, I can't believe how thin these radars are. We need more radar sites. Bad. I mean, there is a couplet there, but none of the radar sites are picking it up that well. No, I'm not going to do that, Incognita Labs. No, but I'm going to hang out with you guys. We'll go till about 11 o'clock. And then, yeah, I may take a ride over there. It's only this time of night. It's like 8 minutes from my house, and I'll get it and bring it back. It's probably just the drive-through open after 9 or 10. Not that it's in a real bad neighborhood, but it's not a great neighborhood either. Hey Dom, what's up? Hey, Marine Girl. Hey, Zen. Glad you guys are all coming in tonight. Hey, Deploribus and Matt. Heath. Victor. Who else is in here? Maggie. I don't want to miss anybody. Okay, so let's take a look at what we got. What do we got tonight? I mean, come on. There's got to be something going on, right? All right, so we're going to come back to this. We're going to keep an eye on the three best storm chasers I got up at the top there pretty much. So we're going to keep an eye on this. And let's go ahead for just a minute here. And let's check in with the mountain in the Philippines, which was spitting a little while ago. And also, we've got 3 slivers of protesting supposedly going on, but I don't think it is. There's some fire in that left one. The guy's riding his bike in the middle one, and the right one looks like they're walking to find a protest. So there you go. Not a lot going on tonight. I have checked all the stuff I normally check for protesting, and there's nothing to be found. So I don't think there's a lot of protesting going on. Yeah, other than my face is swollen up a little bit, Don, I had a really bad hot tooth right here, and I'm a little swollen. I don't think I'm going to need antibiotics, but I'll make that decision tomorrow. We'll see if this goes down or not. Yeah, I'm able to talk okay, and the pain's pretty much gone. It started hurting a little bit a couple times today, but not real bad. And last night it was hurting so bad I was almost crying going to bed. And I laid there with my head up so that my blood pressure was a little lower. You know, when you lay all the way down, the blood pressure in your head goes up a little bit. And believe it or not, even that would make it hurt worse. So I would sit up in the bed, and at some point I dozed off, and I woke up 4 hours later having to piss really bad. And I'm peeing, and I'm standing over the toilet, and I'm peeing, and I'm like, it was one of those where I'm like, oh my God. And I went back and got in bed, and I went right back to sleep, got up 3 hours later to piss again, and I'm like, it was one of those. Like, I'm just was so happy that I had reached some kind of equilibrium here. It was much better. Anyway, all right, so there we go. I don't know why that gets all garfed up there. All right. I actually use an old S10 cell phone. I had bought this phone, and it was the small version, and I meant to buy the big version. But I used it one night for my camera, and I said, I'm just going to keep this phone as a camera. You know, I pay the same amount for a good cell phone, or I pay the same amount for a good web camera. They're about $130. So this way, I kept it, and it's my camera that I use every night. But I took it out of the cradle this weekend because I did a live show for one of my clients, and I had to use it to record it. So that's why the battery was dead. Anyway, yes, I'm glad I'm back as well. I wanted to do a show every night, but when I'm hurting that bad, I'm hurting that bad. That's just what happens. It just happens to be. All right, I'm going to switch back and forth between weather-wise and this, because we do have a lot going on here. You'll hear the alerts either way, but look at this mess. And then over here, we're expecting this to get real intense here in a few minutes. Look, they've issued a severe thunderstorm watch for this area in the big circle, and then these are severe thunderstorm warnings. And I've got, is Nick broadcasting? Nope, still not. I do have a cam here, but it's a still cam, but you can see that storm approaching from the right there. That's in Syracuse. Yep, these cameras are stationary, and they only send like one picture an hour. But it's better than nothing, which is what we have a lot of times. All right, we've got 63 mile an hour wind gust there, a 69 mile an hour wind gust, and there's a 62 mile an hour wind gust. So very strong winds now being reported coming through Garden City right now. And up here too, look at this. This was that's a hail report, 1 inch hail. That's a 1 inch confirmed hail report right there, that little pink square. This is a new thing that the radar does. It shows me confirmed reports now, which is really cool. I keep all of this stuff turned on. All right. So that's what's going on. That's in Kansas. This little one up here that I just told you about, that's in Colorado. We also have another area down here, and we have a storm chaser out in that area as well. And that's Tyler Woodall, but he's not broadcasting. Whoa. Oh, shit. It's like I'm drunk or something. What? Boy, they have changed this. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. All right. We do have a has cam here. And we can see this storm approaching. Oh, what is wrong with this thing? There we go. Yep, that's this camera right here. Got two different ones. Can I shrink these just a little bit? I don't want to miss anything. There we go. All right, those are our two has cams that we have coming up. God bless it. Now I have to get used to something new. I have no idea how to set this back once I screw it all up. Oh, I'm gonna I'll have to figure this out. All right, that's correct. Jesus, I don't. Oh my God, this is gonna suck. Why would they change the controls on me? Man, these are all tornado reports. Tornado location 2 miles northeast of Linville, reported 1 hour ago. And here it comes again. So they're going to end up getting another one. Oh boy, this is going to suck. Sorry guys, I used to use the right click to move the map. You can't do it anymore. Wow, this really sucks. You have to use the left mouse now to move the map. That's a beautiful sunset going on out there. Freddie McKinney. Hey, D-Beard. Hey, Deploribus. Do they have a Waffle House monitor? No, I don't know. I haven't seen one. They got live bar cams and shit. I mean, I'm surprised what you can find out there that's live. There's probably 100 live bar cams. I mean, I was kind of surprised, actually. Well, yeah, that they can do that. They generally don't, Dom, but they probably could. I will tell you, after everybody leaves, after a hurricane's coming, I'm here all by myself. Everybody leaves. All my neighbors leave. All my friends leave. All the old men that are in amateur radio leave. Everybody leaves. I'm here all by myself. I ride it out here at my house. There's not a storm strong enough that would push me out. And I got to tell you, my cell phone worked great. I'm on, what is it, well, thanks, Matt. I appreciate that. but yeah, they can. Government can. Uh, they have a code in their phone that gives them priority over your phone during an emergency. It's simple. It's everybody has a priority code. And trust me, you and I are down on the list. Thank you, Matt. Once again, thank you very much. Yeah, it is a good time to get your Baofeng. Yeah, if you guys don't have a two-way radio yet, even if you're not in amateur radio, I strongly suggest getting your GMRS license. 35 bucks, no test, real easy. And I suggest getting a Baofeng radio and a programming cable and learn how to program it. I've got a video that shows you exactly how to do it. It's real easy, and I think you'll find it to be, to be a fairly easy thing. And especially if you're a prepper, if you're somebody that wants to be ready, you should have a radio. And if you're somebody that really, really wants to be ready, you buy two with a couple spare batteries, and you bury one of them in a metal box in your yard. Vacuum seal it and put it in a metal box and seal it in your yard. Yeah, it's just too small for me. It's too small. I like the UV37. I like the UV25, UV17. There's different ones. I like a bigger radio. I don't like the little mini radios. But yeah, you should have one of these radios because after a storm, a VHF and UHF are going to be the only way you're going to find news. And here's the thing. One of these Baofeng radios picks up FM channels. It picks up your local radio stations. It picks up my radio station that I work at. It also picks up all your weather stations, your NOAA weather radio stations. It also can be used on GMRS, FRS, and it can also be used on MERS, multi-use radio system. So it can also be used on amateur radio. It can also be used to listen to your power company in many places. It can also be used to listen to your police, fire, and law enforcement, fire, and EMS in some places, especially more rural places that have not gone to a trunking system yet. Hell, on mine, I can pick up the school buses, the schools. I got 1,000 channels. I go to Repeater Book. I download the whole thing into my phone. I got the airport. The latest two radios I bought, they receive AM aircraft frequency. So you can listen to planes, too. Talk about a thing to have in your survival kit. My God, think about it. Now, the Baofeng, if you're wanting to pick up distant radio really far away, you might want to get something like this or a better receiver. The Baofeng's not going to give you a lot of distance on FM unless you build an FM Yagi antenna that's the right length and everything, and then you can do pretty good with a Baofeng. But a Baofeng, the FM is kind of an afterthought. Something like this picks up all the same bands, aircraft, amateur radio, weather. It picks up all the same stuff. Doesn't transmit though; it just receives. But this will pick up a radio station when my Baofeng gets nothing but static. So if you really want to get you a nice $60, $70 receiver, this also doubles as a Bluetooth speaker, a manual plug-in speaker. It's a battery. You can charge it. It can charge you. It does all the different things. It's got the pass-through speaker all the way through. It's really loud. This is made by Reticus, Retekess, Reticus. Reticus. I recommend this. I take this with me anytime I go on my trips or anywhere. Up at the cabin, I use this because I can get WJRB, which is my channel the Fox channel up there. I can get WJRB anywhere in my cabin, anywhere outside, anywhere I'm working or doing stuff, where the Baofeng doesn't do that. So it's one of those things, but it does give you the ability to hear your local radio stations. The Baofeng does. It just doesn't receive as well as you would like. Um, yes, Baofengs can be used on the marine band frequencies. And truth is, the only frequency that is monitored by your government 24/7, 365 for emergencies is marine band. And if it's a life and death emergency, you're allowed to call it in on marine band, even if you're not on a boat. So there you go. But you should have the entire marine band programmed in, and you don't. When you use Chirp, you can download all the standard programs, so you don't have to punch all this stuff in. Like if you're in Florida, you can literally download all 39 of the SARnet repeaters and blow them all in there at one time. You can then take the MERS channels, the FRS channels, the GMRS channels, and just put them all in banks in there, and then upload it. And then when something happens, it says right on the screen what it is. You can just twist your way up. And if you got a pack of papers, it's always good to have your manuals and your papers and stuff somewhere safe. You could print out your frequency list with an explanation of what each channel is, which is on Chirp. Just print that out to a piece of paper and then throw it in a couple pieces of paper and throw it in there. It's a good idea. Yeah, you know, people don't think about it, but when the phones go out and the radio, the FM radio goes out, you're going to be hard pressed to find out anything, and venturing out is going to be very dangerous. So you're going to want to receive information from any means possible. Now, those of us who are ham radio operators know that another great way to get information during a disaster is shortwave, HF. And if you've got a HF radio, which new ones are anywhere between $1,400 and $14,000, if you've got one of those, which I have several of them here, I can actually go on and hear shortwave from across the world, different radio stations on shortwave across the world. I can pick it up in different modes and things like that. If it's the end of the world and you're down in your hole and you're hiding, you're dark, you're quiet, you're running silent, you're not talking, you're listening. You're not wanting to make friends. You don't want anybody to know where you're at. Why would you tell somebody where you're at? And even just by transmitting, someone can track you down. So again, it's the receiver that you're really interested in, because you're going to want that information. You're going to want to get information. And people are going to have radios. And here's something else to think about. If you got an antenna like I do, a 40-foot mast with a G9 on it, a GP9, I have a really high gain antenna here, and it's up above the trees. And so I can hook that directly up to a radio, and I can start scanning open frequencies until I hear somebody talking. I also can go and try to decode if I hear digital, or if I hear whatever it is, I can try to decode it. But I think it's important to be able to listen, because listening is where you're going to find out what exactly is going on. All right, this is an observed tornado now. This one is just upgraded to an observed tornado. Right there. All right, so yeah. I do tonight. I want to get your opinion. I redid the opener, the two-minute opener. I redid it completely. I shortened down the zooming and all that, and I added about 4 more clips of me and the cats going by in the van and stuff, and it's really cool. So I'm going to just show the opener here. It's 2 minutes. I want you guys to watch it, because in this opener, There's one part where you can see in the van, and the three cats are sitting there all looking around while I'm driving. It's pretty cool. AI, this is 100% AI music, AI video, and then I made it myself on Caden Live. I did all of the video editing. I don't use AI for video editing, not yet anyway, because I enjoy it, and I'm very picky. It'll never do it the way I want it done. And so that's how I do that. But anyway, so this is, and I'm just wanting to make sure, yes, it's the right one. Okay. Yeah, this is the new opener. Oh, this thing is driving me freaking nuts. Hold on. I can't deal with this anymore. Something. Cat, out of my chair. My God, I got up for 1 second. And you jumped in my chair. 1 second? I mean, holy shit. All right, so, the big ass giraffes. All right, here comes this new opener, and I'll get your opinion on it on the other side. All right, what do you guys think about that? A green reflecting pool. Yeah, after they vandalize it. The music, I actually had Grok write a paragraph on the exact style of music for the opener of Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Voyager, but I had it amped up a little bit. So that's why it does sound a little bit like an opener for a space show. That's kind of what I wanted, and I wanted it to be upbeat. Yes. Yeah, raising minimum wage, both here in Florida and, of course, big time in California and all over the country. By raising minimum wage, what these workers have done is they're putting themselves out of work. We've reached a point where we don't need to cook our hamburgers anymore. We can have machines do it. And I'm telling you guys, McDonald's is looking to fully mechanize. There will be one employee, and he'll be the guy that receives the boxes in the back and loads the shit into the things. And that's it. And eventually, I think robots will do it all. There may be a day in your lifetime. Now, I may be a little old, maybe. I don't know. But there'll be a day probably in your lifetime, unless you're older than me, where you'll walk into a McDonald's and walk out, and there will be no one there but you. There'll be no people there. And everybody hates that. They're like, oh, God, I hate that. That's going to suck. It's going to be terrible. No, it's not. No, it's not. I don't have to put up with that snobby kid that doesn't want to take my order. I don't have to put up with them screwing up my burger constantly. I mean, do you know how nice it's going to be not to have a screwed up hamburger? Not to have onions in my Encherito? I want you to think about this. Think about it. No more messed up orders. You order it yourself. You confirm it yourself. And the machine makes it exactly the same. That's what I want. And I know... Yeah, there may end up always being a person on duty there. I don't know. You saw Disclosure Day? I've had people tell me it's worth seeing in the theater. I've had other people tell me it's worth seeing but not in the theater. And I've had other people tell me that it's a woke piece of shit and I shouldn't see it. That it's all woke and it's all leftist and it's all anti-Trump type feel. So I don't know. You know, the robots we make today make C-3PO look like amateur hour. Think about it. The robots we have today, they're doing backflips and stuff. I mean, it's kind of amazing what they're doing. They're out running marathons. They're doing everything we do now. These robots, and now the intelligence is going to go along with it. I can't wait. And they can adjust these things to where physically it's only so strong. You can make this thing to where it's no stronger than a human. It just needs to be strong enough to do its work, to wash the dishes and shake my litter box. But it doesn't, it doesn't have to have superhuman strength. That can be something you choose. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having my own robot. I'm looking forward to, and you know what? I'm going to tell you something. People are going to give up on relationships. People are going to start having robot relationships. They're going to make these things look pretty good. They're going to, pretty soon, that's what people are going to do. They're going to have fully functioning robots, and they're going to live with them. They're going to cohabitat with them. Yeah, I mean, that's coming. You should be prepared for that, because that will be the eventuality here in the next 5 years or so. Companion robots. It'll start out for like kids and autistic people and things like that. But it's going to end up being something that you can bang like a chick, I don't know if that'll do it for me, but maybe. I guess they say don't knock it till you try it. Whatever. Well, yeah, I guess robots should be able, if that robot identifies as a woman, it should be able to compete, right? Dom, if you mean the doctor on Voyager makes Data look primitive, yeah, that's only because the doctor is not. The doctor is actually the whole computer on his back end. So yeah, I can see that. Um, yeah, that this is the thing that gets me is people are all like, "No, look, I won't have any place to work." Get yourself up. Inspire to be something. Don't look at McDonald's and Burger King jobs as the rest of your life. There's going to be all kinds of job openings coming up using AI, servicing robots, doing all these different things that we're doing now in a much, much larger way. And when they start talking about AI is going to put us all out of work, no, you were right earlier. Your wage increases, your mandatory wage increases, are what has pushed this to happen a lot sooner. It is what it is. Look, 10 years ago, $6 got me a Whopper and fries and a large drink. $6. Right before COVID, it was $8. After COVID, it was $12. Now we've got this progressive wage thing. It's $15, $16 now. This doesn't change anything. That's what I don't understand. The artificial wages, it doesn't. All it does is it screws it up for everybody. It really does. I know nobody wants to hear that, but it literally does. It messes it up for everybody. All right, let me see if I've got any more cams out here. I don't know why these guys aren't coming up. But that's okay because we've got another has cam that's right in the path of this. Yes, Lambert, used properly, AI is amazing. AI is absolutely amazing. It's still in a phase where you've got to watch it. You know, you got to make sure it's doing what you want it to do. Maggie, I see both sides of this. Relationships are the largest pain in the ass you'll deal with in your entire life. We all want love, and most of us end up not finding it, or we thought we found it and we didn't find it, or we hope to find it and we can't find it, or we found it 5 times but it didn't stay long. Whatever. And so I don't look at it, it's nothing I think I'm interested in, but I understand people's frustration with relationships. I do. The games involved, the bullshit, it's just too much. I've just pretty much swore off even dating anymore. I don't even care. There's no way I'll ever find anybody that I'll be happy with, so, you know, I've kind of given up. And so people like me that have a much higher sex drive than I do, I could understand them. Yeah, I could see it. They're trying to find a port in the storm, if you will. I get it. Like I said, not for me, probably. I don't think so anyway. It sounds, like you said, weird. But what people do in the privacy of their own home. Yeah, incognita. You can go to Google AI Labs, Google AI Studio. It's called Google AI Studio. I go there and I build my own programs, and then I export them out. I get them working. I've had real good luck with it. I do all the stuff with this show through different things that I've built. I even built one that takes Trey's show and it makes it actually goes through his entire show, an entire hour of his show, and it breaks out all of the different voices and what they said, and it makes it searchable. I've been doing all kinds of stuff with this thing. I've got it making my thumbnails. It makes all my pictures. It makes all my everything. It's absolutely amazing what you can do with this, because you can build your own AI. And the AI builds the program for you. So you don't need to know the first thing about building programs. You just have to, excuse me, you just have to explain what you want. Yep, Google AI Studio is what I use. And there's other ones out there. You do have to pay for an API key if you're going to do anything on it, really, of any substantial thing. But it's not bad. It works, you know. I build everything on there. I've built stuff to convert amateur radio logs from one kind of log to another. I've just absolutely built anything you could imagine. I've got one program that it makes pictures for me, and I can click one button and it puts the red and blue neon glow in there that you see in all my pictures. It also gives me a choice of 10 different sizes that I can choose from and resolutions, and I can pick as many of them as I want, and it'll make them all. So I mean, that's how I do these pictures when you see them on my logs and stuff. Okay. Yeah, guys, what you do is I always, if I'm not going to be on, or if anything's going on with the channel, I will put it on my page, and I'll show you right where it's at. Oh, I just hit the wrong button. Damn it. There we go. Okay, so let me put this up. Okay, guys, so here you go. You're on my page here. All right, there's my page. It's the one with all the liberals up there in their costumes. But there you go. And when you're in here, you want to hit here where it says posts, and this will always tell you what I'm doing. You should get these notifications if you've hit the bell. But notice every time I'm not going to be on, I put up something. There's Barack Obama's thing that he hasn't paid for yet. It's made of money. But yeah, I put this, I'm literally update this constantly with what's going on the channel, with different stories that are out there, different threats that are out there, and so, you know, check this out. It's my community page, and it's under posts on my page, and like I said, I do all kinds of articles in here. I do all kinds of alerts for weather. I do breaking news. And you can see I also have AI make all the graphics too, which kind of makes this nice. There you go. There's the van. That's the picture I use to tell. That's the AI generated picture that I feed back into AI so that it makes the videos. Yeah, Oregon trying to ban hunting. But anyway, there you go, and you can stay up with what's going on. This one here is about all the corporations leaving California. Look at them all. It's the mass exodus, as they said on Space 1999. Operation Exodus is underway. All right, so there we go. Yeah, I think if you go to my homepage, I think they do come up here somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, they're down here. The last 3 messages are down here. Maybe I should move that to the top. I think I can do that. But anyway, there you go. That's how that works. And it's simply, it's called the community posts. And I also put stuff out on other, I put stuff out also on other services as well. But it mostly just links back to the full article, which is in the community page. Yes, that's Lambert. This is what I've been saying for a while. Everybody keeps saying the AI is going to ruin us as a society, and I'm like, no, 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 no. Because for every negative you come up with, I can come up with 2 positives. AI is an amazing thing, and it's there for us, and it's going to be an amazing thing in the future, and we need to not be afraid of it. 3D printer files. There you go. That's it. There's a lot to learn about AI, but once you learn it, it's going to save you time. It's going to make your products that you put out better. Look, I've got 80 songs that I've made on Suno. I pay them like $8 a month. But that way, when something happens, boom, I drop it in, I make a song, and I play it for you guys. Hey, Moorhead, how's it going? Let's see here. Yeah, incognito. I don't code. I've never coded. I'm not. I don't think I'm bright enough for that shit. I don't know. I'm real good with some things, but coding. I've tried a couple times. I used to code on Commodore 64, and then I kept trying to stay up with it, and I just couldn't. It got way too complex. But with AI, you don't need to code a damn thing. That's what's so great about it. And when you use it and it doesn't work, it'll come back and say, we see that it didn't work. Do you want us to fix it? And you just click the fix button, and they know what to do to fix it. It's pretty good. Yep. Okay. So that's that. Yep. I read all about Dawn Wells. Remember Dawn Wells? She played Mary Ann on Gilligan's Island. I read her life story today. I don't know why. I just did. I really like her. She went on to do a lot of philanthropy and was big in the community. She helped a lot of people get into acting, and it was a great story. I did. She got dementia at the end and passed away. But yeah, I always thought she was so much hotter than Ginger. So there you go. All right. the hell? Oh my God. I get so pissed at these articles. All right, Stonehenge. I did want to mention this before we sign out tonight. Stonehenge breakthrough reveals surprising path behind ancient stones. 450-mile trek. You know, those stones were trekked 450 miles across the ground, moved from one place to another. They're now saying that part of that trip may have happened due to glacier movements. For centuries, historians and archaeologists have debated how Stonehenge was built. Now researchers believe they may have finally traced one piece of the landmark's complex journey. The monument, which sits on the Salisbury Plain near Amesbury, Wiltshire, was constructed in stages beginning around 3000 BC, according to English Heritage, the organization that manages Stonehenge. New research focuses on Stonehenge altar stone, which sits near the center of the monument and has long been debated among scholars, news agencies have reported. Work by researchers from Curtin University and Perth, Australia, suggests that the stone originated in northeast Scotland and reached southern England through a combination of glacial movement and then human transport. Using geology analysis and ice sheet modeling, researchers found that glaciers may have carried the stone as far as Dogger's Bank in the North Sea, or roughly 200 miles away. Prehistoric people then likely transported it to its current site in Wiltshire, another 250 miles, a feat that researchers said required tremendous determination. You'd think? In a statement, co-lead author Anthony Clark said the journey would have required careful planning and coordination. Rather than being carried naturally by ice, the evidence points to a deliberate, careful planning movement. The modeling now shows that glaciers may have transported the rock part of the way during the last ice age, potentially as far as Dogger's Bank in North Sea, but not into southern England, meaning the stone would still have needed to be moved hundreds of kilometers by people. Clark added that the altar stone was likely moved in stages, with prehistoric people transporting the stone after glaciers carried it only part of the journey. Transporting a stone of this size over such a long distance would have required planning, coordination, and a deep understanding of the landscape, not to mention tremendous determination or technology. I mean, this is the part they never bring up. You know, with the pyramids, obviously they had technology, obviously, and nothing would remain of that technology except the stone. All we see is what's left, the stone. But the technology was there. Like I said, there's a 42 Ford sitting out in a field near my cabin. And it's been sitting there for about 40 years. 40-something years. And it's almost gone. We're down to the engine block, the frame rails, and the two axles is what's left. And the tires. And in another 100 years, that'll all be gone. It'll be a discolored piece of earth. Even the tires will eventually cease to be one piece anymore, and they'll basically be eaten down to the point that they turn to dust, or the wires will be laying there, whatever, and then those will rust. Eventually, the entire car will be gone in a few hundred years, 300 years at the most, just sitting there in the rain, in the sun. Well, with the pyramids as old as they are, any hint of any kind of metal or technology or electronics would be long gone. Long gone. And all that would be left is the stone that they used the technology to move. So it makes perfect sense to me. This is not the first time technology is spun up on this planet. Probably not the second either. We spin it up, we kill ourselves with it, Maybe this AI is the inevitable end. Maybe AI gets away from us in 20 or 50 years, and the Terminator effect happens, and then that's it. Everything is destroyed. Everything's gone. And then the Earth rebuilds itself. There's scant number of people around that end up turning into tribes, which end up turning into settlers that end up moving around the planet, and the whole process starts all over again. That's why I said it doesn't work this way. I mean, there's been technology on this planet before, 2 or 3 or 4 times. Yeah, over the years, if there was any evidence, it would have been looted out. Of course, yeah, you're absolutely correct. Glacier delivery. Well, the Postal Service is slightly faster than glacial delivery, but not much. It is snail mail after all. Maybe the Vulcans will land. Well, the Vulcans, which is where we got our prime directive from, will not make contact with us until we create our first warp bubble. Once we create a warp field, they will detect it and they will make first contact with us. Lambert, I agree with you. You know what's funny is all these guys walk around with their pants down around their ass and their underwear showing. In jail, that means you're gay and you want it up the ass. That's what that means. So I've always wondered, how did we end up with that being gay on the inside, but cool on the outside? It's cool on the outside doesn't mean you're gay. Straight as hell, man. But when you're on the inside, it means you're trolling for some piracy. So I don't know. I don't know how that works. I am a warp bubble. Oh, God. I don't think the Vulcans will land anyway. They're going to be, those assholes are so illogical. They are so incredibly illogical that I'm not even going down there. Forget about it. No, they're going to fly right on by and keep doing their thing, listening to their Vulcan opera or whatever. All right, guys, we're doing pretty good tonight. Good numbers tonight, considering I was off for 3 nights. I've never taken 3 nights off since I started doing this nightly show. So it's pretty rare. I'll be honest, I did the average. I average a day off every 11 days. So I'm doing my best to be here every night for you guys. But I did kind of screw my average up with the last 3 days. But there's not much I can do about that. Yeah, it would be fun, wouldn't it? To hang out with Data. That would be cool. Yep. Yeah, technically the effects, what happened with Zephram Cochrane in First Contact did happen after a post-Third Nuclear War, or a post-World War III, a nuclear war of some kind. They don't really get too much into it. Star Trek had always said there was going to be one more big war. That's been something that Star Trek, because even like in the Wrath of Khan, he's from the eugenics wars. That's where he comes from. Now, the dates don't work. They've had to retcon the shit out of the dates. So you can't use the dates. Like, they said that, like, in 1998 or whatever, Khan took over the whatever. Obviously, the dates don't work. We're still not going to deep space and all that. So You know, the biggest thing that shows get wrong sometimes is the date, like Space 1999. When they made Space 1999 in 1972 in Pinewood Studios in England, they actually thought that that's where we would be in 1999. We would be living on the moon in a moon base. Because when that was made, we just went there. We had just finished going there like 5 times. And everything was up. And they wrote this show called Space 1999. It's a show where we had been living on the moon for, I don't know, most of the 90s. And that's what they thought was going to happen. And then in September 13th, 1999, the nuclear waste that we had been storing on the backside of the moon explodes. And it hurls the moon out of orbit, where it now travels through space at some sublight speed, but yet runs by a planet every week. It was a great show with great sets and great acting and bad writing. Unfortunately, it needed better writers. But if you've never checked it out, Space 1999, it's worth a rewatch if you're into old cheesy sci-fi. It's really good. The sets are amazing. The thought that went into it is amazing. Martin Landau, Barbara Bain. I just a great cast. Anyway, well, that. See, Lambert, I think we're going to disagree on this one. I believe that if the private sector had been doing all the moon missions from the beginning, I think had we done everything right from the beginning with the private sector, we'd already be living on the moon, and we'd probably already be at Mars by now, at least first man crew. It's NASA and the government that just laid stagnant for so many years, putting that same suborbitable or barely orbiting shuttle up every time, over and over, blowing 2 of them up. I love NASA. Don't get me wrong. This is not a hit on NASA, but NASA's a government organization. Look at the leaps and bounds that we're making with Elon Musk, with Blue Origin, and with a smattering of other companies out there that are all wanting a piece of space right now. And they're doing it using space tourism, which is something that NASA would never do. And so I think that what the private sector is doing is, hey, if we monetize space, we can then afford to go to space a lot more. And see, NASA used to rely almost exclusively on federal dollars. But we're not anymore. Blue Origin sent Bill Shatner to space. That was a freebie ride, but most of them cost millions of dollars. But these rich people will pay millions of dollars to go take a ride into a low Earth orbit and come right back. And so they're paying for the future ships that will take more people. And then those people will pay for more ships and more technology that will take more people. And pretty soon, there'll be a Hilton on the moon. And people will go there and they will stay there. And I'm talking 20 years. We've reached that point. Not because NASA has reached that point, but because the private sector has taken over. I have no faith in our government. I have no faith in our government at all. But I do have faith in the private sector, because the private sector, they set the goal, they have to meet the goal. It's different. You know, I worked for the government for 20 years, and I've worked in the private sector for 20 years. It's given me a very unique perspective. I made more money in the government. Probably did less work, too. But that's the problem with the government. It's just a big mess. Nothing ever gets done. I know. There's no checks and balances in government. There's nobody making sure that stuff gets done. You know? And that's why I think it's taken so long for NASA. Okay, there you go. Yeah, and I think this is Lambert. You're right. I think we're both correct on this. Yes, it's the private sector right now is saving space flight. It's saving our future in space because the government just doesn't have the money or the stomach for it. The Dollar General will probably be the first structure on the moon. Yeah, I'm sure. Could be data centers. Who knows? Let me tell you what, data centers are going to be going in everywhere. They're talking about floating data centers, those bobbing data centers. They're talking about this. We're seeing this thing they're wanting to do where it's just large buildings, multiple stories of just racks, and the whole roof is solar panels, and they're just huge, and they make their own electricity, their own auxiliary electricity, and they're great for communities. This is the part that really upsets me. We've got people running down here for Congress, and they're running on no data centers in Florida. Screw you. Why would we not want data centers? I don't understand. Oh, use up the water. No, they don't. It's not that big a deal. And they use up all the electricity. No, they make their own. These are all things that people tell you so that you will not like something, okay? Look at the positives. You get a data center. The data center uses very little resource, but it's worth a lot of money, which means your building is going to pay for a lot of fire protection, a lot of the sheriff's department or the police department, a lot of ambulances. It's going to pay for a lot of public works and a lot of signs and a lot of road repairs that it's not going to need because it's just sitting out there with a limited number of employees. But it is employing people. It also employs all the people that come there to fix things and service things and all the services that come in and out of there. So why would you not want data centers if they're providing their own electricity and they're making their own clean water? That's what I'm asking. I'm not saying put it next to downtown, hook it up to our already strained water system, hook it up to our already strained electrical grid. That's not what I'm saying. These things come into town, they make their own electricity, they make their own water. And you can make a lot of money as a county or a city to have one of these things in your city. I don't know why you would say no. Only a fool would say no. It would be the largest building in the world with the smallest amount of use. It's a no-brainer. And yet these people, oh, not in my neighborhood you don't. Give me a break, dude. Give me a break. I think it is China propaganda, if you want to know the truth. We want those data centers here. We don't want them in China. We don't want them in Russia. We certainly don't want them in the Middle East. There ain't no room to put them in Europe. So what do? We put them here, where we have control over them, where we can protect them with our golden dome that we're going to put in. Don't you see? It's important. I want data centers in Florida. Bring it on. I want as many as we can fit on the country's dick. As many as we can fit. I'm ready. I don't think the libtards want us to be a strong country. I think that's the misconception out there, is that we assume that the libtards want us to be a great country, but they don't. They would love to see us fail so they could fundamentally change everything. Remember Barack Obama saying that? Oh, I want to fundamentally change everything. Yeah, I know it sounds like Yogi Bear. I can't help it. But he wants to change everything. Fundamentally change. By the way, every night, I'm going to come on and I'm going to tell you if Barack Obama has paid off his contractors yet for his dumb building. What do you guys think that building looks like? Do you guys remember what it looks like? I got the picture here, but you guys remember what it looks like? What do you guys think it looks like? Some people say it looks like a garbage can. I think it looks like some kind of weird USB speaker. But who knows? All right, that should fix that. All right, let's see here. All right, let's see. Yeah, I can do that. Give me a second. I can do it. I got it right here. Oh, crap. This is what this ignorant monstrosity looks like. This is what this ignorant monstrosity looks like. Now, as of mid-June 2026, the Barack Obama presidential, and actually this hasn't changed, often referred to as the Obama Center in Chicago's Jackson Park, has faced significant controversies regarding payments to contractors. The center officially opened on June 19, 2026. Here is a summary based on recent reports. There's no actual comprehensive list of all public unpaid debts, but there is a number of them. As many disputes involve private contractors, non-disclosure agreements, and ongoing negotiations or potential legal actions. Details come from contractors' complaints and media investigations rather than legal filings. The Obama Foundation states that it is fully paid the primary contractor construction manager, which is Lakeside Alliance, a joint venture including Turner Construction, and has no outstanding debts or disputes charges to them. We know this to be complete bullshit. Disputes are between subcontractors, whatever. Overall project costs have ballooned from initial estimates. They originally estimated that it would cost about $300 million to build. $300 million to build this freaking garbage can. Now, it's over $1 billion. Yeah, it's quadrupled. Wow. So far, here's what we know. Adamson Plumbing, owned by Mike Owen, they are owed $4 million on a $12 million contract. So they won't even pay 2/3 of what they're owed. The firm claims losses have drained reserves, and now they're looking at bankruptcy. This man may lose his very successful plumbing business because of Barack Obama and these pricks not paying their bills. Multiple other subcontractors, at least 7 other subcontractors, have sought help from the African American Contractors Association, Some are owned seven-figure sums of money. Hundreds of thousands to tens of millions collectively. I don't know why this phone keeps going to sleep. This all comes from alleged racial discrimination. Thornton Tomasetti, engineer, filed a lawsuit on that, plus $40 million lawsuit has been filed, plus of false claims, cost overruns, non-payment related to all the concrete and rebar work has not been paid for yet. This is bullshit. Chicago, Illinois taxpayers have funded infrastructure, roads, utilities. They've had to spend about $200 million in taxpayer money for this center and where it's sitting. This is separate from the privately funded construction, but is tied directly to the project. The endowment shortfall, a promised 470,000, I'm sorry, a promised $470 million endowment for operations and safety reportedly sits at only $1 million, raising concerns about the building's long-term funding. They said they would have $470 million. They have $1 million. They still need $469 more million. What are we doing? This guy's a thief. Subcontractors cite project delays, years behind schedule. They kept changing the plans over and over again. Plumbing and then unplumbing and plumbing again. Numerous change orders. Breakdowns in communication. Many businesses now facing bankruptcy over this one job because they paid the workers, they bought the plumbing parts, they bought all the stuff, they paid for all the vehicles, they pulled up there, they put the work in, they got it working, it doesn't leak, and now you're not paying the damn bill. There's many allegations of additional ongoing disputes. Not all have been independently verified or resolved in court. The situation is fluid and the center has just opened. The Obama Foundation and prime contractors describe such payment issues as common for this project. For the most current details, check sources, whatever. Okay, so, that's what Grok has on it. This is incredible, guys. We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars owed. We're talking about promises not kept. Boy, they could learn something from Trump on that. Yeah, they had a star-studded thing that they paid $1 million for the opening event. I don't know where that money came from. They probably stole that from a bank or something. Who looked at this building and said, man, that's it. That looks really good. I'm asking Grok. What was the Obama Center supposed to look like? What inspired it? Let's see what comes up. Okay. The Barack Obama Presidential Center in Chicago Jackson Park. It's a 19.3 acre campus rather than a traditional single building presidential library. It was designed by Todd Williams, Billy Tyson Architects, the TWBTA, selected after a competitive process. The tower's most iconic element is a 225-foot, 8-story monolithic tower clad in richly veined New Hampshire granite. The My God, this whole thing is effing granite. The form is faceted and sculptural with dynamic windows cut into the stone. It features text from President Barack Obama's 2015 Selma to Montgomery Marches speech inscribed on the facade. The layout has three main buildings surrounding a central public plaza. Museum Tower is the main focal point, the Forum for events and gatherings, and the library, a branch of the Chicago Public Library. The buildings integrate with the landscape through sloping planted gathering spaces, rooftop gardens, sunken courtyards, and connections to Jackson Park, designed by some dude. It emphasizes porosity and openness, accessible from multiple sides and undergoing parking and paths blended into the surroundings. Overall aesthetic described as iconic, timeless, husky, substantial, less energetic, yet energetic. Does this look iconic, timeless, husky, and energetic? Husky, maybe. It is kind of big in the middle. My God, it avoids a mausoleum feel in favor of a living, community-oriented space. This is all bullshit. They feed us this bullshit. The design evolved during the process, but retained its core symbolic form. The four hands coming together, the tower's shape was inspired by the visual of four hands joining to form a lantern or vessel of light. Huh? The tower's shape was inspired by the visual of four hands joining to form a lantern or vessel of light. This symbolizes collective effort, civic engagement, community, and how many hands shaped a place. It reflects themes of unity and hope central to the Obama presidency. Oh my God, this is a joke. Obama's vision. Barack Obama wanted a vibrant, energetic place for dialogue, inspiration, and future generations, not just archives of the past. He emphasized optimism, integrity, and servicing the hub for local, national, and global civic actions. The architects noted his input was knowledgeable and focused on a living institution. Site and context, deep integration with Chicago's South Side. Yeah, it does look like a boarded up building in downtown, doesn't it? That's where the Obama's journey began. And Jackson Park's historic landscape. It prioritizes public access, green spaces, and community use. Why not? Democratic values, resilience, collective progress. Artistic installations drawn from Obama's speeches in history. Okay, so Grok searched everywhere, and there's nothing that tells us why it's shaped like this, other than it looks like four hands making a lantern. Do you guys see four hands making a lantern? I think that's why there's no windows, because that way they won't get shot up as much. I think you're right. Well, it was definitely an FU to the contractors. I want to know what that little window is. There's like one little window up there. Is that like Barack's bathroom? It's like there's one little window up there. I want to know what's in that little window. I mean, look at this stark piece of shit. It does kind of look like a... You know what it kind of does? It does kind of look institutional. It does. It looks governmental, institutional. Um, I don't know. And even the words that they've got on the side of the building, you can't read them. It's bullshit gentrification. Yeah, it sure is. All right. Hey, Carlotta, welcome in. Is that what it is for the daily call to prayer? Bleak Tower. It does look bleak, doesn't it? It looks like something you would see, like the evil. Of course, you know, I always say the left is the bad guys. This does look like the evil fortress tower. You know, like the bad guy lives there. You know, Voldemort or what was the one in the Smurfs? Oh my God. Maybe this is where the bad guy in the Smurfs lived, I think. Do you guys believe they owe millions of dollars on this building? Like 150, $500 million, whatever. That they haven't paid yet. They haven't paid it. Blade Runner, yeah, I mean, Saudi Arabia, who knows? But it's like somebody brought a model in and sat it on a table and people went, I like that. I like that. That's stunning. I just, wow, I like that. That's stunning. Who says that? Who looks at this shit and says, man, I want my legacy to be a building that looks like a government garbage can? Yeah, I think Nick Shirley needs to get on them cost cutting there. Yeah, because, I mean, look, everything's like this. Every school they build here, our school board has built 2 schools in the last, 4 years. Both schools have quadrupled the original amount of money they were supposed to pay. To the point that I'm so glad that school choice makes it to where they won't ever need to build another school ever again. Thank God. He is, yes, he's 50-50 black and white. So technically he's the first biracial president. Bill Clinton was the first black president. We all know that. Well, it's granite. So I guess unless you're in that one room where the bathroom window is, I guess you'd be safe from a nuclear bomb, maybe. But you'd be trapped in that building with all those liberals, and you wouldn't like that. It does look dystopian. It does look ominous. Yeah. It's like the evil tower, and the bad guy's looking down on his subjects from up there. I mean, presidential centers, some look weird, some look like regular buildings. I mean, but this, I just don't, I don't understand it. I think I just don't get it. I don't know. All right. All right, guys. Let's do a last call for the. Because I've ate once today and I need to go eat. I think I'm gonna run up and buy 2 Encheritos. I can't believe I'm gonna. I'm not the kind of guy that goes and opens the gate and pulls my car out and all that bullshit just to go up to drive 8 miles away to grab an Encherito. But I'm telling you what, those are the best thing. I like those better than almost anything. A steak and a baked potato beats it. A good pot roast could edge it out. But man, it's good. An enchilito is right up there. Right up there. They're all good. Mama's right here. Mom Katie. She's right here. And Daddy's outside and Eddie's in my room. Eddie doesn't like the heat. He stays in my room most of the time. He comes out in the evening or at night sometimes, and then he goes back in the morning because he doesn't want to get stuck outside during the day. Man, the National Weather Service kind of dropped the ball tonight a little bit. Let's see if they've upgraded anything. Yeah, look how big that orange spot's getting now. Now it's in Kansas and Oklahoma. So they're changing their forecast is what they're doing. All right, guys, anything else? Carlotta, you missed it earlier, and it's really important that I let people know this. But the Encherito is back. Yeah, the Encherito is back, and I'm cuckoo for Encherito. There you go. So Taco Bell, the Encherito is back. And I'm gonna drive over there. You can ask Carlotta because she's known me for a long time. I don't normally run out this late for food, but I'm going to tonight. Yeah, this hour is sponsored by Taco Bell. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I don't feel real good. I'm going to go grab something to eat. I think I'll feel better. You guys have a good night out there, all right? And I'll be back tomorrow for our Monday night show. Same time, same channel right here. Yeah. Well, sorry, but it happens. All right, guys. I'll see you guys next time on the Sights and Sounds of Earth. If you guys haven't seen the new opener, I'm going to play it first before the closer. Please take a look. There's a couple of new scenes in there with all the cats. They're pretty cool. So check it out. I'm going to play that right now. You guys have a good night out there and a safe tomorrow. This is StarShip Adventures, the Sights and Sounds of Earth. My name's Ian. It's been my pleasure to host tonight. And I hope that you guys have a great night and a safe tomorrow. We'll see you later. This is the YouTube channel Starship Adventures, broadcasting live from Starship Studios in North Fort Myers, Florida, in the United States of America. We thank you for joining us this evening for another broadcast of the Sights and Sounds of Earth, covering every breaking news story across this troubled planet of ours. We brought you the raw, unfiltered pulse of the world in real time through our unique multi-screen format, broadcasting in high definition worldwide via fiber optic connection. Starship Adventures, a new kind of YouTube content. To our regular viewers, our loyal crew members, our amazing moderators, and everyone who tunes in each night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we thank you. Your support keeps this independent voice alive and well. We'll be back tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. Eastern with another live edition of the Sights and Sounds of Earth, right here on Starship Adventures. Until then, stay safe, stay informed, and may God bless you and these United States of America. This is Starship Adventures, and this concludes our broadcast day. Good night, America, and around the world. Kilo Oscar 4, Echo Foxtrot Sierra, signing off. QSY, 7 3s, everyone, 7 3s.